We spend so much of our lives chasing it, that bigger number in the bank account. It's almost this universal reflex, right? More money, more.
Always more.
But what if that chase, that single-minded focus on just accumulating, what if that's actually stopping you? Stopping you from finding, real stability, real happiness.
It's a huge paradox, isn't it? It sits right at the heart of, everything.
Yeah.
So today we're doing a deep dive into the psychology of wealth because the sources we've looked at, they really push back hard on this idea that, a high income or a massive net worth automatically means you've got a good life.
Okay, let's get right into that.
Yeah.
Our mission here isn't just defining broke versus comfortable.
Yeah.
It's about really nailing down the crucial difference between just being rich and being truly wealthy.
And the sources are pretty crystal clear on this. Being rich, it's transactional, simple.
Maybe.
Meaning you have a lot of money, cash in the bank, liquidity, enough to buy the fancy stuff you want. It's just an amount.
Okay, and wealthy.
See, that shifts everything. It's not about the amount, it's about the control.
Control.
Yeah. Being wealthy means you have control over what that money does to your time, your personality.
For freedom.
Your freedom, your desires, and maybe most importantly, your mental health.
Right.
And that's the core conflict, isn't it? If you don't actively learn how to use money like a tool, it will flip the script. It starts using you.
Money becomes the boss.
Exactly. The master, and you're the prisoner. And what's really fascinating and kind of scary is how this obsession, this spending and accumulating thing, it often pretends to be ambition. Noble ambition, even.
But it's not.
But it's actually this corrosive liability, and you see it everywhere. I mean, at every single income level.
And we have, maybe the perfect, gigantic historical example of exactly this failure.
Oh, yeah.
The Vanderbilts. Which brings us straight to part one, the high cost of being rich, where money is definitely the master.
Okay, Cornelius Vanderbilt, the Commodore. When he died, 1877? He left a fortune that, adjusted for inflation today, is somewhere around $300 billion.
Billion, with a B.
Right. Dynastic wealth, set up for generations, forever.
But even back then, people kind of saw it coming.
Yeah.
The press.
Yeah, the New York Daily Tribune, they wrote this really brutal prediction.
Didn't they?
They basically said, trying to found a family just on money alone, it's folly, it won't work.
Why not?
They figured the fortune would just get absorbed because historically, inherited wealth just doesn't work out for the people who get it in this country. It fails them.
Wow, were they right?
Chillingly accurate.
Good.
Within 60 years, so 2 generations.
Gone.
Most of it. Poof, gone. The sources say the main goal for the next few generations was pretty much a contest.
A contest.
To see who could spend it the fastest and most recklessly.
That sounds like something out of a movie, but it wasn't.
No, you read the quotes from the time. They admitted it. These socialites, they devoted themselves, and this is a direct quote, to expense regardless of pleasure.
Expense regardless of pleasure.
The spending itself, the sheer cost, that became the point. It had nothing to do with actually enjoying anything or getting any use out of it.
That's the absolute definition of money controlling you.
Textbook. You're just performing for other people, not meeting your own needs at all.
Look at Reggie Vanderbilt, one of the later heirs. He got about, $12.5 million, which is maybe around $350 million today.
Still a massive amount of money.
Huge. And his biographer said Reggie had absolutely no sense of responsibility or purpose other than to keep himself from being bored.
Avoid boredom.
And when people ask what he did, his job, he'd just say, gentleman.
Oh, boy.
And his life, it tragically reflects that. Total lack of purpose, driven by obsessions.
Which word?
Liquor and gambling. He died young, 45, from severe cirrhosis.
And the money.
Completely blown through, squandered. His kids, like his daughter Gloria, they got basically nothing. The debts just ate it all up.
And it wasn't just their lives that were kind of absurd. It was the stuff they built. These monuments to...
What?
Themselves? Exactly. George Washington Vanderbilt's place, the Biltmore, 135,000 square feet.
Insane.
Built to just scream wealth. But it costs so much just to keep the lights on that he almost went bankrupt. Had to sell off 90% of the land just for taxes.
A friend of his said it felt utterly unaddressed to any possible arrangement of life.
Yeah, it wasn't a home. It was a commercial building. a statement piece that ended up ruining the owner.
The money didn't serve them at all.
Not at all. They served the money. They served the maintenance, the performance the money demanded.
Which sums up this whole section perfectly. Like William Vanderbilt said just before he died in 1920.
What was that quote?
Inherited wealth is a real handicap to happiness. It is as a death to ambition as cocaine is to morality.
Wow. That's blunt.
So for them, money wasn't an asset. It was like this massive, crushing lifestyle debt passed down through generations.
Which leads us right into the contrast we need. The freedom of being wealthy.
Right. Money is a tool, not a debt.
And we can actually start with the Vanderbilt again, funnily enough.
The exception.
The exception. Anderson Cooper, Reggie's grandson.
Okay.
But he grew up totally different. No expectation of some huge dynastic fortune.
And he's talked about it, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah. He's called inheritance an initiative sucker, even a curse.
A curse.
And his story is powerful because being free from that financial expectation, that burden, it let him find his own way, define his own purpose, builds his own success. He wasn't chained to that lifestyle performance like the others were.
Okay, so that's one side. Freedom from inherited burden. What about actively using wealth as a tool?
Well, for that, you look at someone like Chuck Feeney.
The duty-free stores guy.
That's him, co-founder. And maybe the ultimate example of a frugal billionaire.
Frugal billionaire sounds like an oxymoron.
Right. But he gave away basically all of it, like 99.99% of his $8 billion fortune.
Wait, all of it? How much does he keep?
Just $2 million. For him and his wife, lived in a small rented apartment, flew coach.
Okay, but did he always live like that?
Yep.
Or did he try the billionaire lifestyle first? Why did he reject it so hard?
Oh, he tried it. He gave it a real shot back in the 80s.
The whole 9 yards. Luxury apartments, private jets.
Everything. The whole ultra-rich social scene. But he said he quickly realized he just wasn't enjoying it.
Really?
Yeah. He felt like he was just following a script, doing what society, what his peers told him he should want.
Not what actually made him happy.
Exactly. Not what gave him meaning.
So he took the money, his control, back.
Took it back and aimed it at what did give him meaning. Philanthropy. Helping people.
His quote was something like, "I'm happy when what I'm doing is helping people."
Precisely. He was clearly the master, not the servant.
Yeah.
Using his money like a tool, he said, no differently than how a mechanic uses a wrench.
The money worked for his purpose.
Not the other way around.
Okay, this is huge. And it brings us to this really practical idea, this framework for how you can apply this kind of control in your own life.
Right. This vital distinction the sources make when you spend money. Are you spending for utility or are you spending for status?
Utility versus status. Okay, break that down.
Basically, every dollar you spend lands somewhere on the spectrum. Are you buying it for yourself? For its function, its actual benefit to you? That's utility.
Right.
Or are you buying it mostly for how it looks to others? For the attention, the validation, the signal it sends, that status.
The sources had a great car analogy for this.
Yeah, the car one is perfect. You could buy, say, a high-end Toyota, really nice, plush seats, great sound system, top safety features.
Okay.
That gives you excellent utility. It makes your drive better, safer, more comfortable.
Right. It serves you.
Or you could buy maybe an entry-level BMW. And the sources argue that often, especially if you're giving up features just to get the badge, you're buying bragging rights. You own it less for the drive and more for the signal it sends when it's parked, for status.
And they had that thought experiment, the stranded on an island test.
Right. If absolutely no one else could see it or know about it,
Right.
What would you value?
Comfort, function, reliability.
Utility, instantly. You wouldn't care about the brand name or how big it looked if no one was there to be impressed.
And this confusion, letting status override utility.
Yeah.
That's where people get into trouble financially.
Big trouble. Massive waste. Even scams. Think about the counterfeit luxury goods market. It's enormous.
Billions, right. People are paying for the signal the logo gives off, not the actual quality of the bag or watch.
Exactly. And the counterfeit wine thing. Bill Koch, the billionaire collector.
Yeah, I remember that. These super rare bottles supposedly owned by Thomas Jefferson.
Turned out to be fakes. So if the counterfeit stuff, the wine or the handbag, is often just as good in terms of actual quality, the utility, why pay this huge premium for the real thing?
Because you weren't really buying the quality.
You were buying the status, the feeling of having something exclusive, something others can't have.
But that feeling doesn't last, does it?
It's super fleeting, fickle. It vanishes the second someone else shows up with the newer, shinier status symbol.
Okay, but hang on. Isn't some status spending, like, necessary sometimes, maybe for work, networking, projecting confidence?
Yeah.
Is that just making excuses?
That's a really good question. And the sources would probably say, well, if the function is landing the job or securing the deal, maybe that is utility in a sense.
Okay.
But the danger zone is when chasing status forces you to just conform, to be what other people want to see. And that has this hidden psychological cost. It's heavy.
You end up spending all this energy and money putting on a show for people you might not even like.
Exactly. Whereas utility lets you be you, express your actual identity, focus on making your own life better. Status demands you make your appearance better for others.
And the pleasure is different, too.
Totally. Utility pleasure lasts. Comfy seats feel good the whole drive.
Right.
Status pleasure, that evaporates the moment the next guy pulls up in a fancier car.
Okay, so this tension, spending now versus saving for later, this brings us to that big anxiety everyone feels, the time conflict.
Yeah.
How do you find the right balance? How do you minimize regret down the line?
It's a deep, almost biological struggle, isn't it? You've got compound interest pulling you towards patience, long-term thinking.
Definitely safe, too.
And then you've got the clock ticking. You only have so much time. Enjoy today.
YOLO.
Exactly. And the sources use these two brilliant animal examples to show the extremes.
The fish and the shark?
The guppy and the Greenland shark. The guppy, high risk of getting eaten, total YOLO. Reproduces super fast, like 7 weeks old.
Wow.
And its body just breaks down. It's basically an old, crusty senior citizen by age 1 or 2. There's zero evolutionary point in saving for the future.
Okay, extreme short-termism.
Then the Greenland shark. The ultimate long co-investor, no natural predators, doesn't even reach sexual maturity until it's like 150 years old.
150.
And it can live for 500 years or more.
Oh.
All its energy goes into just maintenance, cell repair, longevity.
So, extreme long-termism, and we humans, we're kind of bad at finding the middle, aren't we?
Terrible. We swing wildly. You see the super frugal FIRE movement trying to save every penny.
Hello.
And then the reckless YOLO types burning through money on instant gratification.
So neither extreme is the answer.
Probably not, which is why the best framework isn't biological, it's psychological. It's the regret minimization framework.
Popularized by Jeff Bezos.
That's the one. Simple idea, really powerful. You project yourself forward. Imagine you're 80 years old, looking back.
Okay.
What decisions, what actions or inactions are you going to regret the most? Your goal is to make choices now that minimize that future regret count.
And what's really interesting is how regret changes.
It absolutely does. When you've got young kids, maybe your biggest potential regret is sacrificing their security for some flashy purchase.
Right.
But when you're 70, maybe the biggest regrets are the things you didn't do. The trips you skipped, the experiences you avoided because you were being too careful with money.
Finding that balance shifts over your lifetime.
Exactly. Which brings us to 3 really practical takeaways from the sources on how to actually do this, how to minimize that regret. First one, compounding memories.
Compounding memories. I like the sound of that.
It's a beautiful idea. One of the best things about getting older is you can kind of time travel in your head, right? Relive good experiences.
Yeah.
And those good memories, they compound. They gain value over time, just like money does. A great memory from 30 years ago feels even more precious now.
Okay, I get that. But how does money fit in?
Money buys the time you need to make those memories in the first place.
Ah.
Think about it. If you could trade, say, $10,000 a year in income to get 500 hours of your time back, maybe avoid a second job, take a less stressful role.
Okay, 500 hours a year.
Over a 30-year career, that's 15,000 hours. 15,000 hours of potential memory-making time. That's a huge asset you're building.
So instead of thinking I lost $10, I should think I bought 15,000 hours of future joy and reflection.
That's the reframe. It's a massive shift in perspective. It's an investment.
Wow. Okay. What's the second takeaway?
Second one, separate liking from wanting.
Liking, wanting. They feel kind of the same in everyday life. How do the sources split them?
They draw a really important line, things you like. Think scrolling social media, maybe sugary drinks, cigarettes. These things can become addictive. They can start to control you.
They demand more and more.
Exactly. They create dependence. Now, things you truly want. Maybe an occasional nice vacation, a specific tool that makes your life easier. These things don't drive you crazy when you don't have them.
So the test is control.
Pretty much. If the thing controls you, demands constant feeding, it's probably a liking that's becoming a master. If you control when and how you engage with it, it's a want that remains a useful tool.
Okay, that makes sense. And the third one?
Third, Saving for the future creates independence today.
Okay, this sounds like the biggest mind flip yet. We always think of saving as sacrifice, right? Delaying gratification.
Yeah, that's the common view. But the sources argue pretty convincingly that every single dollar you save gives you something valuable right now.
Which is?
Options, freedom, less stress, today, right now. It's a buffer, insulation against life's surprises.
So if I save $100, it doesn't actually cost me $100 today.
No. In this view, by saving it, you immediately gain $100 worth of independence, $100 worth of breathing room, fewer worries, more control over your immediate situation.
That feeling of having options is valuable in itself.
Hugely valuable.
Yeah.
Once you see saving not as sacrificing today for tomorrow, but as buying independence right now, it changes how you feel about it. That independence might be the most enjoyable thing your money can buy because it shields you from that constant gnawing stress of having no safety net.
Which brings it all back, doesn't it? True wealth isn't the pile of cash.
Nope.
It's the control. It's cutting the strings. The Vanderbilts were rich, sure, but they were puppets, totally controlled by the performance their money demanded.
While someone like Chuck Feeney, he was wealthy because he cut those strings. He used the money purely as his tool.